Howdy, y'all. Yo, Guardsman, I'm here. So, as it were, recently, I've been doing a lot of soul searching and a lot of work dealing with finding out exactly where we stand. You know, uh, trying to figure out what it is that's in our future, what it is that's in my future, and my dog won't fucking shut up over there. He keeps on fucking licking his fucking dick, and it thinks it's funny. So, pardon me if I shout at the top of my lungs for a couple of seconds. But anyways, as I was saying, um, apparently we take it upon ourselves. Well, you know, you and I, patriotic Americans, we don't take it upon ourselves, but other individuals do, to show hatred and to have zero tolerance for any view which is not theirs. And they completely deny the fact that, for the most part, we don't care about this, that, or the other. We care about the fact that we have a very beautiful, a very amazing country. Somewhere where we can be us, somewhere where we can express who we are, and somewhere where we can do those things that we would not be able to do otherwise. And it is through the sacrifices of many. A lot of this symbolism that you're going to see in the near future being utilized as an excuse to call somebody a domestic terrorist organization, for that matter, or a extremist. This symbolism comes from that history. It comes from that place of people willing to give everything so that you and I have the ability to just express ourselves, to be righteous in who we are, to walk through the darkness in order to uphold the light that we carry in our hearts. Now, a long time ago, and I say it a long time ago because it really was a long time ago. It's 2022 now. Believe it or don't, it was 2008 when I first joined the United States Patriot Army, which is a nationally serving militia. And we say it's a nationally serving militia because all across the United States, young men and women who are not capable of joining up with a police department or with the firefighters brigades or with the armed forces, whatever they are, wherever they may be, join the militias, and they go out and they do community service. And when I say community service, I don't mean, the one-offs, like, stopping a mass shooter or, stopping evil in its tracks. I mean, just simply, you see somebody pulled over on the side of the road and you see that they're in dire straits and they need help. So you pull over because they don't have their blinkers on or something. They're not expecting, emergency services. You pull over behind them, you turn your blinkers on, you rush up and you help them. And it's that little bit of kindness that pulls them back from the edge, from that thought of nobody cares about me. Because the reality is we do care. We care very passionately. If it was not for all of us, there would be a lot of individuals right now who would no longer be with us, who would have given up on life because they didn't have somebody to come and help them. It's things like, just out of the blue being that Good Samaritan, roadside assistance. I seen this person sitting on the side of the road. They had a freaking major meltdown on their car, and it nearly killed them and a lot of people around them. And that one person being willing to sit there with them and protect them for the time that it takes for their friends to show up, or for roadside assistance to get there, or if you need to call roadside assistance for them, or say they're injured and they need somebody to help them because they are physically injured. I've seen these instances before, all right? And I'm coming to you honest. All across the United States. Just because, the militia isn't always in the shit doesn't mean that we aren't there. We're always trying to help people. And unfortunately, because of a few instances where big government actually would utilize their hatred for the alternative duty of the militia. And when I say the alternative duty of the militia, I want you to understand there is a duty that is prescribed in the Constitution that we stand against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, meaning those enemies that would do harm to American citizens, that would do harm to people here in the United States or abroad simply because of something they said, or simply because of something that long ago they believed in and do not necessarily believe in now. It's because of instances like this that they label these people, these good Samaritans, these good human beings, these good Americans, as violent extremists. Now, I heard it said the other day, I think it was yesterday, Senator Ted Cruz, not my senator, so let's be clear. I don't even know who my senator is because that's not my business. My business is that I am self-governing and I carry myself accordingly. I'm not worried about laws that conflict with the United States Constitution because I carry myself as self-governing. So that out of the way. I saw Senator Ted Cruz on the doobly-doo, on the YouTubes or the TV or whatever you want to call it. Stand up, or not stand up, but stand up, metaphorically speaking, in front of Congress, in front of a congressional committee on, hearing on the leaked FBI document about MVEs, saying, what is wrong with this symbolism? Can you tell me what is wrong with this symbolism? Because a lot of this symbolism happens to be part of American history. In fact, it is part of who we are as Americans fundamentally from the very beginning of our nation. For instance, the Betsy Ross flag. Believe it or don't, that's this flag right here on my shoulder. Circle of stars on a blue background, 13 stars and stripes. Betsy Ross flag. And I have it tattooed on my arm as tattered and torn because this is where our nation is today. That doesn't mean that I am wanting, let's be clear, I do not want for violence. I rather respect it for its necessitation in the time that it's needed. Because violence is always necessary in order to defend people against violent entities who would do them harm. Sometimes, and God, I hate to say it this way, but if the shoe fits. Most recently, with our current government, I really hate saying it that way, but you got to understand, I don't have a choice. I have to speak the truth. Our current government would have you quelling in fear, hiding in your closets and your back rooms, rather than being the strong American who is willing to defend their lives, defend their homes against folks who would invade their homes, folks who do not respect that this has all been worked for, this is all earned. All of this around me that you see as my background is actually real. Okay? Those pots and pans in the corner, those are real. Those 2 air rifles sitting over here, those are real. Okay? These are all real. This is not green screen. I worked for this. I put effort in. I spent days, months, years of my life. And even now I earn it. But they would say that because of what I have tattooed on my shoulder, because it's something I believe in passionately, that I am a domestic terrorist. That I am one of those people who would go out there and do harm to you. To those who would expect that of me, I say, the only person that needs to be afraid of me, the only person that needs to be afraid of my violence, is the person who would seek to do me or others in my general vicinity harm. And that's it. You see, I'm not some evil person. I'm not interested in doing harm to you unless you are interested in doing harm to me or others that I care about. Because I'm a protector. I'm an older brother. It's my duty in life. I have 2 younger sisters. If somebody hurt my younger sisters, I could not wait for justice, because justice delayed is justice betrayed. I could not wait for somebody else to go in and save their lives. That's not their job. That's mine. Those are my little sisters. I'm the only boy in my family, the only male in my family. My dad's gone to the great beyond. So it's no longer his job to protect the family. My mom calls me up, I have to leave right fucking now. But damn the consequences. No fear. Just go and get it done. That's my family. I don't have a choice. Just like, say, China or Iran, or I don't think that'll ever happen, but Russia or North Korea were to go and try to invade American soil. That's my duty. I don't have a choice. I am to pick up my rifle and meet them on the street. I am to pick up my rifle and fight them back. That is my job. That is my duty. That is my last duty. I am not expected to live for longer than a minute. So there you go. And that is the only reason why I would be violent, is to protect my countrymen and my kin. So I ask you, what is such a violent extremist about that? If you cannot verify with that, how are you so out of touch with your family? How are you so out of touch with the fact that if you don't, they are going to march over your dead body? And this is what keeps me up at night, is that our own government at times, yes, I said it, at times our own government would be interested in allowing that to happen. Our own government would be interested in facilitating that. That's what keeps me awake at night. The fear that I would do nothing in that instance. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of being called a violent extremist. Let me be clear. The most extreme form of love is that I would be willing to put my life on the line. The most extreme form of love is that I would be willing to visit violence upon those who would do you harm. I will live with the nightmares. And I want you to think about that, Mr. FBI. I want you to think about that, Mr. NSA. Before you go labeling somebody like me an extremist, I want you to think about it. Have we really thought this through? These people are willing to give their lives to protect their communities. These people are willing to give their lives to protect our country, and we did not ask them to. They simply understood and respected their duty. And did so without ever swearing an oath before Congress or before a superior officer. They knew what was necessary before they were ever asked to do it. What's so violent about that? You know what I would say is violent about that? Your willingness to destroy them. Your willingness to cut them down at the knees because they're willing to do your job because you're not. Got to question yourself. What the fuck am I doing? How can I stand for this? What good is it doing for me to take out good people like this? To put people like this on the same level as Osama bin Laden? Timothy McVeigh? You know, Timothy McVeigh was a sicko. I'm going to be straight up with you. You know, I sit there and I say, oh, well, this, that, and the other, you know, he was a patsy, but also, you're willing to go through with shit like this, patsy or not. There's something wrong, man. I have never raised my hand against our government. I have raised my voice, you bet your ass. But I have not yet raised my hand against our government. Because my government has not pushed me to that. And I've respected that. So you have to ask yourselves, what good does it do? What good are we doing to cut these men and women low? To throw them out with the trash? To call veterans and police officers and Minutemen violent extremists and domestic terrorists? You know what the most terrifying thing is? An overlarge government incapable of seeing the people they are stepping on in order to see far. To me, that's terrifying. A government that would choose to lose itself, to lose its self-worth, because they see what? A threat to their overwhelming, overbearing power. I'm really threatening, bro. So scary. I'm just a big fucking teddy bear. Really. I'm a big old lover. Don't let the beard fool you. I wear this because batteries are expensive. Thank you very much. That's on you. I wear this because I haven't cut it, not because I'm some violent extremist. I wear this because I am extremely proud of the sacrifices of so many to give me the ability to say these things. You want a bath, who? Stop porking your throat, man. Sorry, that was nasty. My dog, he's nasty, all right? My dog Houdini is a year old, which equates to about like an 18-year-old, or like not even an 18-year-old, like a 16-year-old who's just finding out that he can get a Woody. So please don't take it too harsh. I'm literally telling him, dude, this is nasty. I'm actually recording a video. Little inconsiderate shit. Anyways, I'm wanting to point out to you the whole point of this. Regardless of, the fact that I'm sure you just started busted up laughing like crazy because my dog was porking his throat. Yeah, fucking, yeah, funny. Dogs do that. Anyways, I try to come to you with a genuine sense of, this is who we are as Americans. This is where we've stood for the longest time. And this is how we continue to stand. If we lose this sense of patriotism, the sense of who we are as Americans, this national love, this cohesion, this unity, then it is by the efforts of a few to divide us. And in that sense, I'm sorry for you. I love you all. And I would truly hate to fight my own family, my own friends, my countrymen, and my kin. It bothers me. It's hard for me to even argue with my granddad, even though he's doing it from the genuine best place in his heart. It's hard for me to try and argue with my mama, even though, I know she does it because she's trying to get me to do right. She's trying to protect me, keeping my mind agile. I know they do it from a place of love, but at the same time, it's hard for me to do. I don't want to fight my own family. I don't want to fight my own countrymen. It's the last thing I ever want to do. I would rather stand in front of you, facing the other direction, protecting you, than ever have to stand against you. I want you to understand that. I don't hold hatred in my heart for anybody. I love y'all. But at the end of the day, I want you to understand I will do everything in my power to protect what my granddad died for. Not the one that argues with me, mind you, the other one. The American war hero. I'll do everything in my power to protect, those things that I hold dear, that I understand to be fundamental to our way of life. If that's extreme, it's been nice knowing you. And I wish you all the love in the world. God bless y'all. This is Ye Old Guardsman, Blaine Price, and I'm out.